personal lines of credit are really helpful if you're doing infinity banking, velocity banking, right? Because it's cash flow friendly, right? With an installment loan, they're going to give you all the money up front, okay? And then you're going to be paying interest on that all the time, okay? Now, I'm not opposed to you using an installment loan as long as you have an end game for your debt, as long as you know how you're going to get out of it, okay? Because it is helpful to have a lump sum of cash there, especially in certain situations where if you're leaving a job and you're starting a business, you may want to get a personal loan, right? Because when you're in business for yourself, you may have a hard time getting a personal loan, right? And it's really easy to use credit cards for credit cards and then have the lump sum there for the loan and be responsible and not waste that money, but you can always pay it off when you want. Now, installment loans, they are good for a lot of different things, right? If you're going to school and you need to take out student loans, obviously nobody wants student loans, but it helps you get through school, right? Car note, you need to buy a car, okay? Everybody's got to have a car. Well, not everybody's got to have a car, but you get what I mean. They're helpful, right? So these are amortized loans. One thing that people don't think about that they should, or maybe they should consider, is if you have high credit card interest right now, you can look up best loans for consolidating, because basically if you take all of your high interest credit cards, there's companies out there that will consolidate that into a low monthly payment and do a consolidation loan for you, okay? That's very helpful because then you're going to save a ton of money that you'd be paying on interest and a small monthly sum, okay? And then here's the other thing about an installment loan, okay? On your credit report, everybody needs to have an installment loan on there. You can't just have all these revolving lines, right? Whether it's a mortgage, whether it's a car note, whether it's a personal loan, whether it's a student loan, whatever the case is, banks love seeing installment loans, right? Because they make a lot of money off of it, and it also shows that you're invested, right? So when you pull up a credit report, if all they're seeing is revolving lines of credit and they don't see installment loans there, then you're not looking so hot for underwriting, okay? So what I recommend people do is this: if you don't want to have a personal loan, okay, and you don't want to have a car note, I recommend you go to your credit union, and I do a lot of videos about credit unions. I have a whole playlist about credit unions. I'll put that in the description as well. But you go to a credit union and say, I want to do a secured loan. Basically, you're taking a loan out, but you're giving them the money, right? And so that will report every single month as a trade line for you, okay? And I'll do more of some videos on that. But basically, that will help you get an installment loan. When you're building credit, whether you're new to this country and you just you're just started getting on your credit journey, or whether you're rebuilding your credit altogether, you're gonna want to have installment loans. There's self-lender out there. There's a lot of credit builder, different products out there. But what I like is a secured loan that you can get through a credit union and just say, hey, I'll do $1,000 or I'll do $5,000. And it's a great way to build data points too, that a lot of people don't tell you. So it helps your credit profile to have secured installment loans, and then it builds the data points with the bank. And anytime you're going after funding, you always want to build data points with the bank, okay? Whether that's direct deposit, whether that's installment loans, whether that's a credit card, savings account, those things right there help you so much to get ahead of the game as far as getting funding from the financial institutions that you're working with. Because if I'm not working with a credit union and you are, and you have a secured line of credit, then they may be more willing to give you a higher limit on a credit card or a personal line of credit. They may give you a personal line of credit if you've had that and you've done well with that, right? So there's a lot of different things that installment loans do. I like to say installment loans are necessary. You don't always want them. You want to be leery of them and careful of them. But there's also times where you want to go for. You want to go to college, get an installment loan. You have high interest rates on your credit card and you don't want to open another credit card, do a consolidation loan, right? You want to build credit, do a secured loan, right? Things like that, okay? Because you need them on your credit report, and then you also need them for data points, okay? For all of you entrepreneurs out there that think about business loans, SBA loans, these are all installment loans, okay? Banks love them, like I said. They're necessary, but they're not always needed, okay? And if you can do a lot of things with 0% credit cards or personal lines of credit, if you need money consistently in real estate investing, I recommend you have personal lines of credit. But you're not going to want to tell them, yeah, I want to get a personal line of credit so that way I can buy a property. No, they're never going to give that to you. Anytime people say, what do you need a personal line of credit for? In case of emergencies, marketing, right? Operational costs, things like that. You don't want to say, so I can buy a house. That will never fly, okay? That is very looked down upon, okay? So be careful when you're applying for these installment loans. If you're applying for a personal loan and you're going to be using it for business purposes, make sure you read the fine print. Make sure you're careful about that in what you disclose, because that could disqualify you. Some banks specify what you can use the money for, but at the end of the day, it's your money, right? And you're responsible for what you put on the application. I mean, this is just entertainment purposes, all these videos. But I'm just saying, giving you a heads up that if you put it, hey, I need to start a business, so I'm going to get a personal loan, they may deny you for that. That's what business loans are for, right? But a lot of people start their businesses with 0% credit cards, and they start them with personal loans, right? I like to stay away from the personal loan if you can, okay? Because having 0% cards year and a half, it gives you some flexibility. You can get another card and move that money around. You're not paying interest as long as you're paying on time, right? You're leveraging debt, right? I like those 0% cards for that. But there's times where if I'm, you could be making 150 grand a year, and you could say, hey, I'm getting ready to go on business for myself, but I better get an installment loan now, right? You can go to SoFi. SoFi is a great company. Lightstream's a great company. Those are some of that I would check out. I'll put them in the description below. But that is what an installment loan is. There's big three. There's credit cards, there's personal lines of credit, and then there's installment loans. And installment loans help things happen and help them to be happening quickly. But like I said, you could pay a ton of interest in something. Like the whole debate of whether I should buy a home or whether I should not buy a home. And then when they say, hey, your house is $480,000, but over the lifetime of the loan, this is what you're going to pay here. There's a ton of interest there that people don't realize that they pay. And if you really did the math, I'm not a huge mathematician, you could see how much interest you're paying on something with an amortized loan. Okay, so as much as you can do cash flow 0% or simple interest, I like that better. But hey, it's not always available to everybody. Okay, to each its own and wherever you're at in your credit journey. But if you don't have an installment loan, get one. Just get a secured one. Okay, you don't have to go buy a car. Don't let the salesperson fool you on that. Just go to your credit union and say, I need a secured loan, right? Or those type of things right there. So anyways, guys, I'm done rambling. I don't want to ramble anymore. This video is kind of getting long already. Go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what personal loan you have or what credit product that you have that has to do with an installment loan. Share your experiences in the comments below. Interact with one another, and you guys have an amazing day.